Hola guys and girls, and welcome to a new BT6 Digimon deck showcase, and this time we are gonna look at my variant of the BT6 Dynasmon-Mastemon trashing variant, a new yellow deck which is focused around trashing your own security and gaining value out of that and not losing out of that because you just keep throwing away your security. So main focus of the deck are, like I said, the Mastemon and the Dynasmon. For one, the one just as value is of course the Mastemon, just the nice window effect known from BT3 or BT2 in that case, BT 1.5 in English. And yeah, when you trash one card from both your security stacks, from opponent and yours, and after that you get to play one level 4 or less yellow or purple Digimon. So yeah, both lose security, but you gain a Digimon in the process, 12k as well, and 4 cost evolution cost. And then of course we do have Dynasmon newly introduced in this set. With the tutor when Digivolve effect, you may trash the top card of your security stack to reveal the top 6 cards of your deck, add up to 2 level 6 or lower Digimon cards among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. And then of course the important all turns effect, once per turn when a card is removed from your security stack, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, trigger recovery 1. So if you have only 3 security cards, you can just keep, or at least once per turn you can keep recovering and you're losing security without actually losing security, if that makes sense. And the manager effect, of course, pretty nice since it's not color specific. As you can see, it's only level specific, level 6 or below. So you actually choose Mastemons as well, even though they're purple. So that's basically the core of the deck. Now let's talk about the rest of the cards and how we get there. So of course, as per usual with my deck showcases, the link to the whole deck is in the description. But let's start off with the rookie lineup. And first of all, we got probably the best rookie in yellow as of now, which is the promo Pulsemon. For one, it has great on-play effect, which means if you have 3 or more security cards, trigger draw 1. If you have 3 or less security cards, gain 1 memory. So if you have exactly 3 security cards, which like I said, with Dynasmon is very easy to achieve to keep staying at 3 security, you can actually trigger both effects. You get a memory and a draw when you play this Pulsemon. And yeah, that's just insane value for a rookie, especially if you get to play him for free with some other cards. Like for example, the Mastemon example, Pulsemon is a pull from that. And you can just gain massive value from that. Another thing rookie we have, of course, is 3 times the Tapimon introduced in BT6, which has the inheritable effect. When a card is removed from your security stack, trigger draw 1. It's only your turn, sadly, though. Dynasmon's effect is all turns, of course, so even if the opponent removes the security by attacking, for example, you do recover, but this draw only in your turn. So we play 3 of them because the extra draw, of course, is nice, and we do have a lot of procs to remove our own security. But yeah, next up we got another staple rookie for yellow decks, which is 3 times the... Oh, it doesn't fit on the camera, like this fits on the camera. 3 times the Bushy Agumon, which is pretty nice. Like I said, we do get to play rookies for free, for one with the Mastemon and with the Anjivomon later in my level 5 lineup. And just having an additional rush attack I can be pretty insane and just closing out games. And that's why we play 3 of them. Additionally, it is pretty nice security control as well, since it has the 5 cost even though it's a rookie. So if the opponent plays Ultimate Flare, which deletes everything with cost 3 or less, the Bushy Agumon stays on the field and it's not removed, which is pretty nice. Then next up, we got 2 more Pulsemon, but of course we can't play more of the Promo Pulsemon. That's why we do play 2 times the BT6 Pulsemon. I want to have an alt art here, one of the few alt arts I actually pulled and kept. But that's the on-play effect. You may trash cards from your top of your security stacks until there are 3 left. Gain 1 memory for each security card trashed. So yeah, pretty nice. Like I said, it's trashing, it gets you to the 3 security which you want to have, which is the ideal number, and gains the memory in the process. And of course it has a nice inheritable effect. While there are 3 security cards, exactly 3, this Digimon gains jamming. So yeah, you can just give your Digimon jamming with that. Let's put the alt on top because it's just way prettier. And like I said, it's a two-way. One that gets you the nice proc in the inheritables, and another one, it's another trashing way to proc all the other benefits we get from that. But yeah, since we are trashing a lot of security, we of course want to recover as well, and that's why we do play 2 times the Salamon as well, which has of course the effect on deletion if you're free. I'm sorry, I can't talk today it seems. 3 or fewer security cards, trigger recovery 1. So if you add 3 or fewer, just dies, you get to recover. Like I said, since this deck is a lot of living on the edge with just 3 security and keep trashing them, then recovering again, you do need these recover cards as well, and that's why we do have a one-off of Lucemon as well. You can argue to play more Lucemon or less Lucemon. I like to play 1. For 1, it's via testing, and for second, at the moment, I only have 1. I used to have more, but now I only have 1 left, so it's not like I have much of a choice. But yeah, of course, it has the effect. First of all, the on-play effect that you get the recovery 1, And then, of course, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, which is pretty easy since you keep trashing your security, and of course Dynasmon trashes from the 6 cards 4 as well, the ones which you don't get into hand. And yeah, so filling your trash is pretty easy in this deck, and you can play them for cheap as well. And yeah, another pull from Mastemon, or the Angelomon, of course. As you can see, we play 15 rookies in total, but Lucemon doesn't really count, so because it's not a Digivolving rookie. We play 14 rookies in total, which is my standard number to make sure they do not break a whole lot. And yeah, that is my rookie lineup. Now going to the level 4 slot, we do play there my standard number of 12 level 4s as well. And the most important one we play 4 times is the newly introduced one in BT6, the Wizardmon. Wizardmon, of course, only 4 costs on play cost, so that's pretty cheap as well. But the main reason it plays is for the inheritable. Your turn once per turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, gain 1 memory. And that is very important, because that allows us to play both the Mastemon and the Dynasmon for only 3 cost on Digivolve, since we pay 4, we trash 1 card, we gain 1 memory. So in essential, we only paid 3 memory to Digivolve into these Digimon, which allows us to attack on the same turn we play them if we have a memory tamer on the field. So like I said, this is why this card is 4 times there. The memory gain is another scenario is great as well, but this is a great main reason why we play him 4 times, so our main level 6 Digimon get on the field and attack on the same turn for additional value and not give away the turn. Then another standard level 4 Digimon we play in this deck is of course 4 times the Pillamon. It's a blocker, it's a 1 cost evolution cost, since this deck is, as per usual, focused around getting to your level 6 Digimon, so you want to have cheap illusion cost, and of course Pillamon is great with that, only 1 evolution cost, and yeah, it's a blocker. You want to have blockers, you want to play defensive. In this deck as well, like I said, we do trash our security on a regular basis, so sometimes we do need to play very defensive, and that's where the blockers come into play, which are pretty nice. And yeah, not too much to talk about there with Pillamon, pretty standard. Then we got a 2-off of Turiamon. Like I said, similar reason to Pillamon, but it's not a blocker, so that's why we play him less, but 1 cost is pretty nice in evolution-wise. And then we take 2 times the promo Gatomon, which has a pretty nice turn effect. For 1, the effect that on the opponent's turn, if I have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gains blocker, which is very important, of course, with the Mastemon. This is the preferred pull with Mastemon, to get this Gatomon on the field, because for 1 it has blocker if Mastemon is on the field, and secondly it has the on-play effect. If you have 3 or few security cards, you trigger recovery 1. So even without the Dynasmon, if you play Mastemon and pull the Gatomon, you can just get a free recovery. And yeah, I don't like playing too many of those, because like I said, it's very specific for Mastemon, which you only play over 3 of. And other than that, it's basically a worse Pillamon, because not doing a whole lot. But yeah, that's my level 4 lineup. Like I said, Wizardmon probably the most, like these top 8 are probably the one you will play as well in your variant. The top 4, you can maybe play around with numbers there, maybe even exchange something. But yeah, that's the champion lineup. Now going to the level 5 Digimon. First of all, of course, since we are playing around with having little security, especially 3 or less, we of course play 4 times the Angelomon, for the inheritable effect that if we have 3 or less security on attack, we can play 1 yellow level 3 Digimon from your hand for free, which of course includes Lucemon as well. So yeah, it just keeps helping us filling up the board. And yeah, like I said, since we are a trashing deck, it's very easy for us, even if the opponent plays around it or tries to play around it, not attacking our security, very easy for us to get to the 3 or less security. Of course, you do have the Digivolve effect as well, which can come into play, giving an opponent's Digimon minus security 2. This comes more into play in the later portions of the game, because early game you are going to keep it in the raising area, you're not going to trigger the Digivolve effect. Later in the game, when you need a bit more defensive, you can like pull something with Mastemon and then get the Digivolve effect on that. And yeah, get something with the security attack. Then the next level 5 Digimon we play is we do play 3 times the Wargromon. And the reason we play him 3 times, for 1, he's probably one of the best level 5 Digimon in yellow there, because of the nice Digiburst effect that we can give an opponent minus 4000 for the turn. And of course inheritable, like I said, 3 of your security, very easy for us to achieve, so the 1000 boost comes into play very nicely. But at first I had less of them, but I increased the number more and more in this deck. And the reason for that is in the early game, it's very difficult to find a good target with Mastemon. Like I said, you trash 1 security card, yes, but then you play a level 4 or lower Digimon. But if you're in the early game and not much happened yet, your trash is pretty empty, and it's rather difficult to find a good value target for Mastemon in your trash bar, and you get very lucky in the one you get rid of in security. And that's where Wargromon comes into play, because with the Digiburst we can just remove our rookie, our level 4 Digimon, and then pull them out again with the Mastemon, for example. So that's pretty nice. In addition, of course, to being able to remove smaller Digimon on the opponent's side of the field, especially in the Bond matchup with Agumon, Bond of Courage, and Gabumon, Bond of Friendship. Opponent of Bravery, I'm sorry for the red one. Usually the field is filled with rookies, so very nice to remove something there. And then as a one-off to get to my standard number of 8 level 5 Digimon, I play 1 Anjouan from the starter deck for the when Digivolve effect, more recovery. When you have 3 or fewer security cards or less, trigger recovery 1. Especially if you get 1 free level 4 with the Mastemon, for example, like best case we get the Gatomon, for example, that we had on field for free, and then we Digivolve it immediately into the Anjouan, and boom, we recovered 2 in 1 turn. And yeah, just can play very easily a very stally and defensive game. And yeah, that's my level 5 lineup here. Now, for the level 6 lineup, you already saw that I'm playing 3 Mastemon and 3 Dynasmon, but that's not all, to be fair. In my first variant, when I first attempted this deck, I played 4 Mastemon and 3 Dynasmon. But it turned out, for the reason I already mentioned, Mastemon in the early game can be pretty, not very underwhelming, let's say it like that. In the early game you rather see Dynasmon for the tutor effect as well. You basically make sure to very easily raise up your second level 6 Digimon by just pulling exactly the pieces you need out of the top 6 cards you're gonna reveal. But Mastemon, since it's more than Dynasmon, it's more often than not a hand-in-hand, and I didn't really want to play it since I didn't have a good target in my trash. And that's why it reduced the number by 1 to put in 1 Wargreymon, just as an additional level 6 Digimon, which works with the trashing synergies, since it has, of course, the effect that when attacking once per turn, you may trash the top card of your security stack to unsuspended Digimon and get an opponent's Digimon minus 6000. So yeah, for one, it's a free cost evolution as well, so if you don't have a Wizardmon or something like that, this is a nice level 6 to go for, which you can attack in the same turn with. And of course the minus 6000 can help a lot in removing some smaller Digimon. And a great synergy as well, which happened a few times already in my test matches and tournaments as well, is with the BT6 Pulsemon, this one, Pulsemon. If you have exactly 3 security cards, we gain jamming, and that way we remove one of the big weaknesses the Wargreymon deck had, is Wargreymon dying in the first check. Yeah, with jamming, it's very unlikely that to happen, barring the opponent, of course, has an option card there, and that means we can very safely attack twice and trigger the Anjouan twice as well. So that's additional synergy. You can even play around with that. I was even thinking about like making it like a whole, like get rid of Mastemon, whole Wargreymon Dynasmon deck. I didn't test that deck yet out. In theory, it's a bit more hit or miss. Since Wargreymon, with this you can pull from the trash, which is a way bigger resource than just your hand, and of course you don't have the synergies with the Gatomon for additional recoveries if you don't have the Mastemon. And yeah, like I said, it's a bit more 0-100. Either the deck is going way better, or it's going way worse. Mastemon is more of the safe option, and of course in some matchups like security control, trashing security cards can be very valuable because they don't trigger if you just trash them. But yeah, this is my level 6 lineup. Level 7s, I don't play any, so that just makes sure that every Digimon I remove Dynasmon I can put to hand. I don't play any level 7 Digimon. I was thinking about putting Chaosmon in there, or maybe Millenniumon, but since my level 6 are purple and yellow, I can't guarantee to always have a target for those. So that's why I decided to just go with no level 7 Digimon and give me more space for option cards and Tamer. And yeah, Tamer-wise, I just play very simple free TK, probably the best Tamer in the game, in the early game for sure. It's Memory Tamer, gets you to free memory, and of course you get to choose 1 card of your security stack and recovery 1 from that. Important thing, since you are removing a card from your security stack with TK, with this effect right here, it does trigger all the cards like the Carpumon and the Wizardmon, which gain you memory or get you to draw cards once cards from your security stack are removed. So that means with TK, if you play them later on, you can actually gain memory and draw additional cards through that, which is pretty nice. And yeah, just great memory tamer overall. So we put 3 of them in the deck. And now last but not least, we have our option cards. Oh, I see I forgot to talk about our Tamers. Okay, we talk about that last. But yeah, option cards, we do play 3 times the Blinding Ray, like I said, helps with our trashing synergies and gives us additional memory to do stuff. And yeah, just enables a whole lot of plays, even if we don't have a TK on board to get to our memory we need. With Blinding Ray, it's very easy to get that memory. It's very nice to get a TK as well to get to 5 memory, to, for example, hard play a Bushy Agumon, to go for a game or something like that. But yeah, it just enables a lot of things. It helps us getting down our security, actually get to this free security mark to trigger our Anjouans. And then our last 2 option cards, of course, 2 Wyvern's Breath, just straight up removal. I always like to have some removal cards in my deck, so I can answer some big threat my opponent has. And of course, this is a signature option card of Dynasmon, so we of course gonna play it in this deck, which features Dynasmon as well. But yeah, then like I said, I forgot to talk about my Tamers. I just see him here lying on my right, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I play 4 times the Upamon, 1 times the Bibimon, 4 times Oppoinents, of course, like I said, getting to 3 of your security, very easy in this deck, gets just additional draw power, and Babymon is just there since all the others don't really matter too much, like giving -1000 to opposing Digimon. We don't really do that a whole lot. We do have one Wargreymon, a few Wargrowmons, but an additional 1000 there comes very little into play. That's why I go with one Babymon, since being exactly 3 security is what this deck often does, and yeah, just getting additional memory can help us a lot with our plays. But yeah, that's the whole deck. Of course, let me know in the comments what you think about this variant. Did you try this variant yourself? At first I thought, okay, do I just play an updated Lord Nightmon deck for this metagame right here? But I did play around with this Dynasmon-Mastemon deck a little bit, and it actually did put in the work. I'm a big fan of this variant. There's a lot of decision making going on. Like I said, it is a trade-off you go for. You sacrifice your security, so you're sacrificing the one thing which basically is in the way of the opponent winning for value, and you have to decide oftentimes, is it worth it? Do I go for it now? Do I wait for it? Let's see what the opponent has, stuff like that. Do I wait for a better card in my trash before I play the Mastemon, stuff like that. A lot of decision making going on to this deck, and which makes it very fun and rewarding to play. So I definitely recommend that for you as well. But yeah, that's this deck showcase. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. Hit me up on Twitter and Facebook, all the links in the description, and I will see you another time. Ciao.